Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be doing some architectural salvage. We're going to make some pieces inspired by a recent trip to an antique store. Y'all are going to love it. Let's just go ahead and get started. And I want to thank Squarespace for sponsoring today's video. I purchased these two shelf brackets at the thrift store. I absolutely loved the age look of them, and I was thinking that maybe I could turn them into some bookends or some architectural salvage pieces that you could use in your decor. On my miter saw, I cut down these pieces of 1x4 wood and just smooth out all the edges with my sander. I thought I could use these pieces to kind of frame out the bracket, and this would give it more stability on a bookshelf and also, make it heavier. Using my Ryobi brad nailer, I'm going to nail the two pieces together. If you do not have one of these, I highly recommend it. It is battery operated and it is just so handy to do all kinds of not only crafts, but projects around your house. I think a key component to creating architectural salvage is to have a chippy look. So we're going to be using Fusion's Fresco texturing powder. This beautiful bayberry color that I think is going to pair really nicely with the natural wood tone, and then also the Gustavian white milk paint. I'm going to take the Fusion Fresco powder and mix it into my bayberry paint. The more powder you add, the more textured it will be, so it's just kind of whatever look you're going for. For the first coat, I'm not really too concerned about adding texture. I just want to get one coat of paint on here and get all the wood covered. Now that the first coat is on and dry, I'm going to come back and add the texture. Mainly just on the edges because the bracket is going to be right here. And I'm not concerned with full coverage because if some of that natural wood comes through, that is perfectly fine. Lots of colors and lots of different layers is what creates that vintage chippy age look that we are going for. Don't you just love when you mix the exact right amount of paint for your project? Now it's time for the milk paint. If you have not used milk paint before, it comes in a powder form and you just mix it with water, half water and half powder. And then you just paint it on like normal paint. Like I told y'all earlier, this is the Gustavian white. It is one of my favorite whites, and look how good it looks, not only with the bayberry, but with the natural wood. I think this is gonna be a really, really beautiful combination. My pieces now have a couple coats of milk paint, so I'm going to take some 220 grit sandpaper and I'm just going to sand it. And what you're going to see is those areas where we put that Fusion Fresco, we're going to see that beautiful bayberry come through. Now, since this is milk paint on the top layer, you could also wet distress it. So if you want to take a baby wipe or a wet paper towel, you can come back and distress it that way. I want most of this piece to be white with just a little bit of that green coming through. So I'm not gonna wet distress it too much or sand it too much. I just wanna kind of get a little bit of that peeking through and get that chippy layered look. It is looking so beautiful, and now I'm ready to add in my brackets. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add some some wood glue. And then I'm going to put it exactly where I want it. I'm going to let the wood glue dry for about 20 minutes. And then I'm going to come in and secure it with some brad nails. I like to do it this way just because when I'm picking up the piece and trying to nail it down, it's not going to move because the wood glue has already dried a little bit and it'll keep everything in place. A few weeks ago, I went to this beautiful antique store in Memphis. If you haven't seen the video, I'll leave it linked below. You definitely want to watch it. It was so inspiring. And they had these seeds over there and they had these succulents in it. And it gave me this great idea. And when I came across these pieces at the Goodwill bins, I knew exactly what I wanted to do. I always pick up succulents when I'm out thrifting, but also at the dollar stores, they usually have these little pots of succulents for $1, and they very easily come out. for this seed, I want to add a little bit of moss. So I'm going to add some hot glue, and then I'm going to stick some moss in there. And then I think this succulent will look good with it. So I'm just going to add some hot glue to it and then put my succulent in there. This is going to be some very quick, very easy DIYs. For this seed with the smaller slit, I feel like these longer succulents will look better. I'm not going to add any moss to this one. I'm just going to put some hot glue and stick it in there. So definitely be on the lookout for some seeds like this. And absolutely always pick up succulents. They are so perfect just to add into so many little pieces of decor. Now for this one, I think I'm gonna add a succulent to this as well. This is the smallest succulent I have, so I'm just gonna cut the stem down. And I think I'm gonna add a little bit of moss to this one. So I'm just going to kind of push it into one of the holes, and then I'm going to add some hot glue to the back. I think for this one, if I had some smaller succulents, that would be ideal, but I think that looks pretty cute. I love these. Y'all let me know what y'all think. I would like to take a minute to tell you about the sponsor of today's video, Squarespace. Squarespace has everything that you need to grow your business online. And on top of everything that Squarespace offers, they have all of these amazing extensions at your fingertips. These Squarespace extensions are great for helping your business run smoothly. I'm going to show y'all a few of the ones that I personally use. I use ShipStation for all of my shipping, and then I use TaxJar to help take care of all the sales tax, because who wants to think about that stuff? And then did y'all know that you can create your own merch line using Printful? This makes it super easy to create your own product line, and it connects directly to your Squarespace website. They also have email campaigns, which I've kind of been sleeping on, so I need to start doing those. So lots and lots of features on Squarespace and their extensions. So if you think that you are ready to take your business to the next level, y'all go check out squarespace.com/Julie's Designs and Signs, and Squarespace is giving my viewers 10% off when you use code Julie's Designs and Signs. And I will have a link to all of that in the description below. And I have been getting better at sending out emails, reminding y'all of all the stuff and sales that I have going on. So if you have not signed up for my e-newsletter, I will also have a link to that in the description for y'all. Now let's get back to the projects. I purchased this scale months ago, and I put a coat of white chalk paint on it and threw it out in my yard, and I thought I was gonna get like a rusty, chippy look, and this thing refuses to rust. So today I'm gonna just give it a makeover and give it a new paint job. I got some new paint colors on the website, and my friend asked me to use this one. It is called Champness, and it is a beautiful blue color, so that is what I'm going to be using on the scale. Fusion paint requires minimal prep work, and it has a built-in sealer, so it'll be perfect for these metal pieces. I went in real thick with that white paint, so there's definitely going to be some texture on here, and I am totally cool with that. All right, what are y'all thinking about this color blue? I did get a tiny bit of rusting on the screws, but that is pretty much it. It does have glass, but I'm not going to tape it off. You can easily get paint off of glass with a scraper, but I always try to be careful just because it's less work in the end if you just don't get paint on your glass to begin with. And with the Stallmaster pointed sash, it's great because you can come in and get all of these little details with the little pointy end, but then when you have these flat surfaces, it goes on really quick and smooth as well. It's just perfect for every project. That's why I absolutely love these brushes, and I have a set of 3 of them. If you want to try them out, you save $10 if you buy the entire set. It is looking really good. This is one coat of paint with just a few little touch-ups. Fusion paint just has the best coverage. And I have all this texture that was created by that white paint that I put on there first. So I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna take some light grit sandpaper and I'm just gonna go over just the areas where I can see that it's very textured and let some of that white paint come through. Fusion paint does have a built-in sealer, so you cannot wet distress it, but you can still get that distressed look with using sandpaper. It's looking really good, and I think this color would look amazing with pink. So this is a page from the Ephemeral Melange transfer. If you do not have this transfer, I highly, highly recommend it. It is so great. There's so many little pieces that you could use. So obviously this transfer is too big to put on the entire scale. So the first thing I'm going to do is just cut off this piece of typography because I want to use this on one side, and the rest of the transfer I want to put it on this panel right here and then possibly have it come up the bowl. I'm not sure yet, so I'm going to start with what I know for sure. I want this piece on the panel, so I'm going to cut it to where it fits on here. That way I have the rest of the transfer to place elsewhere after I figure it out. See, I'm kind of thinking like maybe right here, but when I'm not positive, what I do is I start with what I know, and I know I want this right here. When you're using a transfer, it's going to have a clear part and a white part. You want to take the white backer off, and then you want to put your transfer on the piece exactly where you want it. And then all your transfers come with a transfer tool, and you're going to rub it over your transfer, and then it is going to transfer onto your piece. Now if you're wanting your transfer to go around a curved surface, you can absolutely do that. You just want to bend it over and take your transfer tool and just rub it, and it comes off so easy. Look at that. Perfection. This looks so good with this color. Now it did get a little weird right here where that screw was, but you can fix all things with sandpaper. So I'm just going to go in and kind of sand the edges of this piece, and it'll just kind of make any imperfections disappear. I love sanding my transfers, especially if you love that distressed look. You can see the difference where I sanded right here and then I didn't sand over here yet. On this side, I have these two cutoffs. So I think this one I'm gonna stick here in this corner. It is the perfect size, and it'll just add a little bit of color. And then the typography I'm going to put right here. And then same as before, you just take your transfer tool and you start to rub on your image, and it comes off onto your piece. This side looks great. It's looking absolutely beautiful, but I'm feeling like we definitely need to add something to the bowl. So this is the rest of the transfer. I cut off the flat, well, actually I cut off the typography just because a rounded surface is harder, so I'm gonna do it in pieces. And since I kind of have a flat edge here, I'm thinking it would be perfect to put it underneath the lip of the bowl and then have the flowers coming down. So that's the plan. I'm gonna do the floral first, and then I'll figure out where I wanna add the two pieces of typography. So you could definitely put the transfers on a curved surface. It's a little more tricky. So I'm gonna start with the top, and then I'm gonna slowly work my way down, just pushing my transfer tool down the bowl. And if you see it kind of starts to come up, you just kind of want to hold that spot and then push it down. I did end up with a few little crinkles, which is totally normal when you're doing around a surface, and that's where the sandpaper really comes in handy. That way, you know, you could just distress it a little bit and it all looks like it was meant to be that way. Now I'm just going to add in the two pieces of typography that I have left from this transfer. And then, where my transfer tool went? Here it is. It's clear, so I'm always losing it. Once I transfer these two pieces, this word and this number, then this scale will be done. I have an idea I want to try. I want to see if I can take this scrap piece of wood and this chippy spindle that I have and make a cool piece of salvage decor. I cut the spindle in half on my miter saw and I cut the 1x4 into two 6-inch pieces. Now there's no way I'm going to be able to match this look on these pieces of wood, so I'm not even going to try. I'm going to paint them with Dixie Belle's chalk paint in the color Vintage Duck Eggshell. And I think it's really gonna pair nicely with the chippy look of the spindle. I just put one quick coat on here since I'm gonna be distressing it, but it does have amazing coverage. So I'm gonna take my sandpaper and I'm just going to distress this piece. And also with the Dixie Belle paint, you can use sandpaper to distress it, but you could also wet distress it as well. So I'm going to just keep distressing it until I kind of get the look that I want, a little bit of that wood tone coming through and some of that white that was previously on this piece of wood. It's looking pretty good, but I think I want to antique these pieces of wood a little bit more. So I'm going to take my Fusion Antiquing Glaze and I'm going to put it on the whole piece. And what this is going to do is it just is going to richen that paint color and also all of the areas where the raw wood is showing through. It's going to give it a little bit more of an antique look that I think is going to look better with my little spindle. So I'm going to brush it on and then you just take a dry paper towel and you just kind of wipe it off. Here you can see the difference from the one that I applied the antiquing glaze to and the one that I did not. It's not a huge difference, but there's definitely a difference. This one looks much more aged to me. Now we are ready to put the piece together. So I'm going to take my wood glue and I'm going to put a little bit of wood glue at the bottom of each of my pieces, and then I'm going to put it on my board exactly where I want it. There's a little bit of wood glue that's coming right there, so I'm going to clean that up with a baby wipe. Then I'm going to take my top piece and I'm going to put it on top, make sure everything looks even, and then I'm going to take my Ryobi brad nailer and I'm going to shoot 2 holes through the corbel. Then I'm going to wait for my glue to dry here before I turn it over and nail the other side. That way everything stays in place. And this piece is done. If you're wondering why I didn't put the corbels the same way, I just felt like this was a more interesting look. But this is just inspiration. You take it and do what you want with it. I think you could put it this way, you could put it this way. It could be like a bookend. I feel like taking 2 random pieces of wood out my stash and turning it into this was such a good idea. I absolutely love the way that this looks. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Also, if you had a specific size you needed, you could even add more of these and do a much longer piece. Alright guys, that is the end of today's video. Y'all leave a comment below and let me know what was your favorite project. I feel like mine is a no-brainer. White and natural wood is definitely what I love. And speaking of natural wood, hold on, I have something to show y'all. It is the first week of the month, so you know what that means. New items on my website, juliesdesignsandsigns.com. Now, these are handmade, but I did not hand make them. However, I did hand pick them. I only chose the most beautiful pieces with the most beautiful wood tones. So I have all of these different kinds of hand carved bowls, these little flower shaped ones right here. Look at these, how beautiful. And y'all, these are a little bit pricey, but they are just big and beautiful, and I just thought that y'all would love them. I only picked out the ones that had like a little bit of white in them because I just thought that was just such a beautiful aged look, y'all. These are so beautiful. Hold on, let me show you this one. So each one is just a little bit different, you know, because it is handmade. So y'all let me know what y'all think about these. Also, if you see any pieces that are sold out, just sign up for the wait list. Hold on, let me grab these here. Because some of these are just gonna be one of a kind pieces, but some I may be able to get more. How cute is this little bowl? And of course, I mean, you could paint these if you wanted, but like I said, I love white and natural wood. So if you have a lot of white in your home, this is just the perfect pop of natural wood. I did not see anything else like this on the internet. How cute are these little dog bone dough bowls? And look at these. They remind me of those big dough bowls, except they're miniature. How cute are these? I've never seen anything like this before. And just remember, when you're ordering, they are all handmade, so they're about the same size and shape, and I've tried to pick out all the similar colors, but they will vary a little bit. And then I have these that are cute. They're kind of like a scoop, but it's a tray. I just thought they were really pretty, and I did like the lighter wood tones as well. So if you are interested in any of the products that I just showed you, if you're interested in any of the products that I used on this video, as long as the projects that I created on this video, y'all definitely go check out my website. I have so much new stuff there, and I will have a link to that in the description below. And if you are interested in starting your own website, y'all go check out squarespace.com/Julie's Designs and Signs. And they are giving my viewers 10% off. And I'll have a link to that in the description as well. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I hope y'all were inspired. Y'all have a great day, and I will see y'all next week for another DIY video. And if you are new to my channel, welcome. I will have a playlist right here of more videos like this. If you enjoy this one, I know you will enjoy my other videos. Bye guys.